I'm having so much fun, Hannah.
You know what would make this even more fun? Spooky ghost stories.
Ghost stories?
Yeah, I know one that originated pretty close to here.
Close to us?
Yeah, St. Mary's Church.
Oh, I passed it on the way here.
Which makes this even spookier. Do you want me to tell it? So long ago, it was 1844. Many immigrants filled the small area of West Warwick. Many of them were Catholic, but the closest church was in Providence, meaning many people had to walk since there were no other forms of accessible transportation.
Why didn't they just build another church closer?
Because there was a curse.
Who would curse what?
The area was dominated by Protestants, and even though the Catholics owned the land, the Protestants were really bitter about it, so they cursed it.
What was the curse?
The curse stated that the first man to break ground on the land would die suddenly. So naturally, no one wanted to do it. They thought that they could avoid the curse by choosing a woman.
Who was she?
Her name was Mary Doran.
Did she die?
Yes, she died in 1849 at the age of 33.
So what does this have to do with the ghost?
According to legend, Mary haunts the church.
Many people have talked about their experiences with the ghost. Senator Adam Satchell knows about them.
That's not true. I don't believe that.
Then let's go talk to him.
My name's Adam Satchell. I'm a West Warwick resident. I'm a teacher here in West Warwick, and I'm the state senator for the town of West Warwick. Everything I've heard has indicated that the spirit, ghost, whatever you want to call it, is friendly, like a goofy spirit, not like the spirit that's gonna like haunt your dreams or like steal your children, but more like, like tap you on the back or like whisper in your ear. That's stuff that like my grandparents and some of like my CCD teachers and my mom used to tell me, because my mom went to the church too. So I went to that church my whole life and made my first communion there. I went to CCD there. I was an altar boy there. And weird stuff used to happen. Like, I'm not making this up. This isn't like being theatrical. Weird stuff would happen. And some of the stuff like you could explain as like a coincidence or like the weather, like they'd say she would blow candles out. Well, like that could be the wind. That could be somebody walking by, The other thing that she would do was the bell would ring. The church bell would ring and nobody would be in there. I had a CCD class down in the basement of the church. It was during the winter, so it gets dark at like 4:45. So it's like, 5:30, 6 o'clock. We're sitting downstairs and my teacher was like, "Oh, you're an altar boy. Why don't you go upstairs and like get a Bible or like get a candle or something?" I don't even remember what it was. So I was like, I'm not going up there. I'm not going up there. A, I was afraid of the dark. And B, I had heard all these stories my whole entire life. So I'm like, I'm not going up there. And my teacher's like, come on. Like, basically, she called me out in front of my friends. Was like, don't be a wuss. So I was like, all right, I'll go upstairs. And, being an altar server, I knew, like, where all the light switches were and stuff like that. So I, like, put the lights on to go up the stairs. And when I got up to the stairs, like, the church was pitch black. Pitch black. Like, I swear on my daughter's life. Church was pitch black. You had like the little bit of candlelight from like the prayer candles that people lit. And the organ was playing. The organ was playing. It was pitch dark. If the light was on, like in the choir loft, I would have seen it. There was no lights on. There was organ music. And I was out. Like, I ran down the stairs. I ran back in. She's like, where is it? And I'm like, I'm not going up there. Somebody was playing the organ. And she was like, nah. And I'm like, go and look. And she's like, I'm not going up there. So that was my experience with the ghost. Right inside the little sacristy, which is like the church office in the back there, where like the church puts his robe, the priest puts his robe on and stuff. If you go outside, like directly behind the door, like you open the door and you look out, it's Mary Doran's grave right there.
Have you ever talked to anyone that didn't believe in a ghost?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I had a pretty wild imagination when I was a little kid, you know what I mean? So, and I was a goofball, so like people automatically assume that I was just like messing around with them. But yeah, it was weird.
Have those people given reasons for not believing in a ghost?
Some people just don't believe in ghosts. You know, some people don't want to like admit it, you know, because like it's the Mary Doran Knights Knights of Columbus at the church. So like Mary Doran is like a prominent person in the church for like donating the land and things like that, and it's like a positive thing. So some people don't like to talk about the ghost maybe because they want to keep Mary Doran's memory positive, whereas like usually with a ghost, the association with that is like a negative thing.
I know there's a book in here somewhere about it.
Okay, show me then.
Oh, right here. For decades, church members have been aware of a vaguely airy air pervading the tiny church. In the old days, people, especially children, avoided the place because it made them feel uncomfortable. Even today, some members of the congregation will not go into St. Mary's alone at night. The consensus is that a ghostly presence haunts the church. Here, it says that the old pastor, Father Fitzgerald, had heard footsteps behind him, and when he turned around, no one was there.
Oh, look, over here it says that the organ would play and nobody was even in the church.
And over here, it says that one Christmas Eve, the bell would ring, but there was no one there to ring the bell.
That's insane.
And he saw the ghost.
He did?
Yeah, he was looking through a window in the parking lot, and he was positive he saw a figure standing next to him. But when he turned to look at the full figure, no one was there. So what do you think?
I won't believe it until I hear an expert's opinion.
Well, I guess we'll have to go talk to one. Hey, what's this?
Paranormal.
It's a business card for an expert.
Well, maybe we could go talk to him about it, see what he's experienced.
Yeah, maybe we can, Amanda. That's a good idea.
Deal?
Deal.
My name is Carl Johnson. I am a paranormal investigator who specializes as a demonologist. And that means I address some of the more malevolent sounding situations that have paranormal leanings that are brought to my attention.
My name's Elise Carlson. I'm the other half of Paranormal, and I'm mostly an historian. I'm also a researcher, and I'm the person who handles the technology. I have the recorders, I have the cameras, and I get to sit there and listen to hours and hours of people doing nothing in hopes of picking up a voice or a glimpse of something moving that we didn't expect.
So from what you know about St. Mary's Church, do you think it's haunted?
I do.
Or why would Mary be a friendly ghost?
I don't think she had a wicked disposition when she was alive. She was not malicious. From everything I've heard, she was more like a victim. I think she was victimized, but she's probably aware to some degree that there are people around her, living people, and she wants to make a favorable impression. She doesn't want to scare people out, but I do believe she wants people to know she is still there.
She was a good, God-fearing woman who, was just helping out her fellow people.
So where did you first hear about St. Mary's Church, the haunting?
I heard about that from Jason Hawes when I was a member of TAPS, and that was a local haunting story that people in West Warwick would tell, that there was a haunting there. We meant to visit it, didn't get around to it. I don't think we would have received permission to conduct a paranormal investigation there, but we had planned to go there. And that was about 17 years ago I first heard that.
Out of all the paranormal occurrences in West Warwick, what do you have the most interest in?
Ooh, recently St. Mary's, because we're talking about it. However, I realize that's limiting because we really can't go in there and probe and investigate. We can attend a service there, but probably not going to see anything unusual.
In relation to St. Mary's Church, what can you tell us about curses?
Curses. The generational curse, yeah. They are potent. I believe someone could place a curse, a hex, on another person, or a family, or an organization, and that can carry through. It's one of those things that shouldn't be real, but it is. Part of the effectiveness of a curse is if someone believes in it. If they know they've been cursed, they believe it's a real force, then it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Other times it just happens through a supernatural agent. But I think if somebody is serious about placing a curse on another person and they believe in that, it can be effective.
Would it be logical that the Protestants would curse like the land for a Catholic church in retaliation in a year like 1844?
By their own logic at that time, the precepts of that time would allow for it, because they felt that was a violation of their faith, that the Catholics, which were heathens.
That was so interesting.
I know. Thanks again, Carl.
When he was talking about curses, I was freaking out.
I know, right?
Does this mean you believe now?
I don't know. Maybe we should go visit Mary.
Maybe we should.
Yes.
She's buried somewhere in here. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
You say so.
Look, here it is.
Now do you think it's haunted?
What do you think?